What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I am back with another quick video. And I know it's been a couple days since I had a series of videos, but yesterday or today? I posted a post on X, and it was very simple, non-triggering. It says Xbox Series X is just as premium as the PS5 Pro. We just got it 3 years earlier, and this is not a popular tweet at all. Based off the responses I'm getting, but for some reason this machine here just triggers like a level of hate in people, and it's really unnecessary. So one, mind you, just pay attention to the post itself, right? It says Xbox Series X is just as premium as the PS5 Pro. We just got it 3 years earlier. Nowhere in this post did I say that it's better, worse, or anything. I'm just pretty much claiming that it is a premium device, and at most I'm saying is that it is on the same level as a PS5 Pro. I'm not saying that it's better, not saying that it's superior or anything like that, but it pretty much brought a bunch of people to respond angrily, Someone says, Grant says, wouldn't that make the base PS5 just as premium? In my opinion, no. I think it puts it closer to the Series S, but you can argue that. I'm not saying the PS5 is worse than the Series S. I'm just saying it just puts it closer to Series S. Tonio, no, it's not. PS5 Pro, 17 teraflop PSSR, Xbox outperformed left and right base. Okay, sure, whatever. And then what? You think the Series X is better than the Pro? It barely beats regular PS5 in resolution. Now, mind you, I've never said that it was better. I've never said it is better. All these responses are just literally, and a lot of people they keep throwing stats of random games. So this dude says, Sprite G says, yeah, doing 1080p on performance mode is very premium for $800 plus another 360 to rent games. What is the factor? So I'm assuming he's throwing in Battlefield or something like that. Which I wasn't talking about Battlefield. I don't I don't even have Battlefield. But then he says $800. So this right now, this particular box I have in my hand is not an $800 Xbox Series X. If you buy this version of the Series X, I believe this version is $600 or $650 or something like that. I think that's what it is. This regular black version with disc drive is so it's not $800. He's talking about the rare one that nobody has in stock, right? It's literally a special edition console. So, and then he's, factoring Game Pass Ultimate for a new customer, not for a customer like me. I'm an existing customer. So it's not that much for me, and don't know what that has to do with Battlefield, because Battlefield's not on Game Pass, at least not yet. So, so it's like these angry responses for no reason, right? But I have a reason to say, what I say. Even read Game and Tech, and this guy is like one of those tech persons. Like this even sparked him to respond. I'm like, why are you guys getting so sensitive about this? He says, can you define premium and what it means to you for this or another console? I'd only call PS5 Pro premium because it's the most powerful console out of their lineup. So I suppose the same could be said for the Series X. You answered your own question. Like, are you going to tell me that when a Series X launched in 2020 that it wasn't a premium product? It wasn't a premium product? So, I don't understand. I don't understand what sparked that question. But I'm gonna get to the real point of why I made that post. I watch a lot of comparison videos. There's a lot of content out there with Series X versus PS5, Series X versus PS5 Pro, and against the PS5 Pro, the Series X holds its own. Right now, if you look at a lot of these comparisons that came out, the Series X is typically right in the middle. If the PS5 Pro, typically how it should work and how it's been going is PS5 Pro's overall the best, then it's the Series X, then it's the PS5, and then it's the Series S, which makes sense on paper, right? But some cases it has been Series X, PS5, PS5 Pro, or some cases it's been Series X, PS5 Pro, PS5, Series S. There's also going to be some games, shout out to the Nintendo Switch, because before the Switch 2 came out, the Series S was holding back gaming. Now the Series S is a benchmark to the Switch 2. So long as it's comparable now, Switch, there's no Switch 2 games outperforming the Series S or look better than Series S, is that it's holding its own. It's like, oh wow, this is impressive to run on the Switch. Back if there was no Switch 2, then the Series S would be a poor example. But because there is a Switch 2, the Switch 2, oh damn, like the Switch 2 is amazing. It can get these measures of performance as close to a Series S. The reason why I'm saying this, right? Because there will be games, and there is a big game coming, especially these UE5 games, where there's going to be games that have modes that are exclusive to the Series X and a PS5 Pro. You know what I mean? They will be, mark my words, there will be games coming this generation with modes that don't exist on the base PS5, but exist on the PS5 Pro and the Series X. So imagine a game, right? Typically games, especially with these UE5 games, right? They'll have like quality mode, which is targeting 30 FPS, balance mode, which if people are in love with is 40 FPS, and then performance mode at 60 FPS. There will be games or a game that for Xbox Series X and a PS5 Pro premium consoles that will offer 30 FPS, 40 FPS, 60 FPS. But for their little brothers, same modes would be 30 FPS and 40 FPS. Now, why is that? Why is the Series X, getting PS5 Pro premium modes? Think about it. So remember this video, remember this day I recorded it, remember my post where I said the Series X is just as premium as the PS5? Remember that, because I said it for a reason, because games will show that exact fact, and some developers will treat it exactly like that. So again, there will be a game where, sure, the PS5 Pro its performance mode might be better than Series X's performance mode, just for a share of having a higher resolution. The PS5 Pro has a bigger GPU. It should, it should. So there's that, right? But there's going to be situations where the PS5 base and the Series S, they're going to be sharing the same performance metrics. Sure, the PS5 will be doing it at a better resolution. Again, like PS5 30 FPS mode being better than or better quality than the Series S 30 FPS mode, and its 40 FPS mode being better than Series. Yeah, that's absolutely. But the fact that there will be a game that will have a performance mode exclusive, when I say performance mode running at 60 FPS, exclusive to the Series X and the PS5 Pro, prove that the Series X is just as premium as the PS5, and in due time, you guys will see that. So also don't forget, even though the Series X is, the Xbox name is just, just really bad now, and as far as I don't know what's going on with retailers and stuff like that. If you get a Series X, get one. Otherwise, just get a PC. But the thing is that there is still key features that the Series X just does that's better than PS5 Pro, and that's typically it has a better VR, it has a VR mode and options, better performance modes. Again, PS5 Pro has over the Series just better ray tracing, which is, I think, PlayStation and their engineers handles ray tracing better. Me personally, I don't care about ray tracing, and because, like I said, I don't like the trade-off. So when I do want to get the most out of ray tracing, I'll go to PC. But even then, I have to tinker too much, which means I just leave it alone. Just give me the better performance. But that's what I wanted to say. I stand by my words. I will still continue to stand by it. The Xbox Series X is just as premium as the PS5 Pro, and I think Microsoft also believes that for the simple fact that, one, they had the balls, the price of Series X console at $800. Now, when I say Series X, it's that Galaxy Special Edition, the one that really doesn't exist. So this one also argument I do want to just sort of clear up. And this is not me damage controlling or defending, because I really don't care. when for some reason when people talk about the Series X and they say $800, right? They're literally pinpointing that special edition Xbox that nobody has and that you can't find in the stores anywhere. They're not referring to the standard Series X. They're not referring to the white digital only Series X that actually more available than any of them. They're not referring to the ones you can actually go and buy in the store or buy from Amazon. They're referring to the one that you have to literally try to find. But when they talk about the PS5 price, they're talking about the base PS5 price. They're not considering the PS5 Pro pricing. They're not considering the PS5 Pro pricing with the disc drive and the stand, which brings the price already at essentially $1,000, right? They're not factoring that. But when they factor the Series X, they go to the one that nobody freaking has. Nobody has that Galaxy one. That's equivalent to, comparing it to the pretty much marking the Halo Special Edition one as the standard, which is a rare box. I can't even find that one. So I don't understand why they do that for pricing. And I just want to say the Series X is not $800. It's not. It's not. The Series X, you have to go with the starting price because at the end of the day, the Galaxy Xbox Series X, this Xbox Series X, and then the digital one, they're all the same box. The only thing is the Galaxy has a disk drive, which this one has, and 2 terabytes. The digital one doesn't have a disk drive, but it's still 1 terabyte. So the hard drive space doesn't matter because you don't need 2 terabytes. No one needs 2 terabytes. I can get away with 500 terabytes. At the end of the day, when you don't your game, delete them. Right? That's all you need to do. So it's not like it's required. But I wanted to get this off my chest because I was getting really irritated. And I'm proud of myself for not lashing out at anyone who's responding because they're responding in arrogance. They're responding in, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. It's arrogance and ignorance that they're responding in. So they're saying all this unnecessary stuff. But at the end of the day, I will be, proven true. And I'm keeping my composure. I'm keeping calm. And it is what it is. But if somebody saying Xbox Series X is just as premium as the PS5 Pro triggers you that much, seek help. That's why I don't understand when PC guys and PlayStation guys look at Xbox as they're like, they say something's wrong with them mentally and stuff like that. But when I look at the responses I get, like, bro, you just as guilty. You just as crazy. You're just as sick. You're just as sick for you feeling this way and responding this way. You have the same problems that the quote unquote Xbox fans has. But that's my video of the day. I'm sorry if it ran long, but I need to get this off my chest. All right, later. Peace.